So creating this. So first of all, here I already created one project. You can click here and then new. You can create a Java project. You can give. I'm giving the name as example. So example, then next, and I'm finishing that. It's already contained. Okay, so one example is created. One project is actually created. Inside that, there is a default package is there. So that's no needed. You can just right click on this SRC, that is actually the source. Then new. You can create a new package. You can name it as I'm giving example. Example as the name. So your all classes related to your project, well, you have to maintain in a single package. So in this class, in the package, I'm creating a class that is our main class. I'm creating it. So I'm giving the modifier as public, so it is available for all the classes which we stored in the particular package. And also the main method, you can click here. So the main method you can give here, otherwise you can type it in your class actually. So it is very easy when you're clicking here and finish. So now our main class is created. So this is our main class. Actually, the compiler will start from the main method. So in which class that main method is available, the compiler start executing from there. So this name you can, that is according to your preference, you can give any name. So and the compiler start executing from where the main method is actually returned. Okay, so here in this main method, what I am just introducing, or I'm giving an example for the object creation. So I'm taking another class also. Right click on the example package, creating another class. So just I'm giving the class name as show, and I'm also making it as public. And here we don't have to give this public static void main, because in one package there is only one main method. So skip that and finish. So our main show class is created, right? So show class is created. So in this show class, I'm writing a method. So I'm giving the method as void show. The return type is void I'm giving, and I'm giving the name as print. Our method name is print. So in programming, we are identifying a method. It is followed, the name which is followed by an open and closing parenthesis. You have to give this open and closing braces. So inside that you can print anything. So this is just for printing something. So I'm giving the step as system.out.println. So this is already I explained in the previous class. The system is actually a class. The out is an object of this system class, and this println is a function which is stored in the system class. So through this object out, we are accessing this println method from the class system. So here, whatever you want to print, you can give it in a double quote. So I'm printing here hi. Okay, so only one method I just written inside the class called show. So now we are going to create a object for this show class in our main method, main class. Through that object, I'm going to access this particular method, which is print. So how we are doing that? So in the method, the step is like that our method, class name you have to write show equal to our object name. So whatever the thing you can give, I'm giving as yes equal to new keyword, which is going to give some space for this object in the memory. So new and the constructor. So this is actually a default constructor. I didn't mention any constructor here. If you want to pass parameters between two different classes, you can like this method, you can declare your constructor here. So I will show the example of that also. So here it is not needed. We are just calling this print method to print hi. So that is not needed. So that object is created for that show class. So this is our show class. So the object for the show class is nothing but which is yes. So I'm going to access that print method. So yes is our object. Yes dot. You have to use the dot operator. S dot. It's already that given here. So I can just enter. So it's finished. Okay. This is the thing. So using this object, I access to the print method in the show class. So now we can just run this code. Okay, so now it is printed, right? So I just run and here it is printed hi. So you can give anything. Hi, hello, I'm just giving hi, hello. So and the main function I'm just running and select all. So it is printing hi, hello. So this is how we are communicating with other classes using an object. Is it clear, guys? Okay, is it clear or any doubt?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So the next topic is class. So the class, you know that the class will contain methods, constructors, then what, variables, all the things. So that's also familiar. And the next one is constructor. So the constructors are of three types. Here it is given only two types, that is default constructor and parameterized constructor. The default constructor is already there. It is developed or it is implemented by the constructor itself. So here in our example, I just called one constructor here, right? And also I'm not mentioned or I'm not write the definition for that show constructor here. So that is actually a default constructor. So I can create my own constructor to pass parameters between here. So here I doesn't have any parameters, so I'm just call that show parameter, sorry, constructor, which is a default constructor actually. So it is of two types, parameterized and default constructor. Okay, so let's see an example for that also. So in this class, we can do that. So in the class, in the main class, what I am going to do is, okay. So for getting inputs, we have to use one predefined class, that is scanner class, right? So the scanner class is actually stored in a predefined predefined package called util. So first of all, you have to import that package here. So the step is like import java.util.scanner. You can give scanner, otherwise you can give just a star notation and give a comma there. So this is enough. And all the classes which is stored in the util are now imported here. And how that class is so scanner is a class, right? So like this show class, we have to create an object for that also. So I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I am going to create an object for the scanner class. Scanner class is used to access or give values. So it is like scanning. I'm just giving scan as the object. Go to new scanner and I'm accessing it through a system class. Okay, system class, that is system is having a system dot in, right? So this is the step for creating an object. So through this system class, system dot in, that is actually we are taking the input, right? Like system dot out. Out is an object of that system, right? System class we are using to print the values. Like here, system dot out. That is out is an object to access that println, that is for printing the value. Like that, for getting the value, system.in we have to give. Now the object for the scanner class is created. Now I'm going to declare a variable. So I'm declaring a variable as a string. So string name. I'm just declaring it. A name is of a string type. Now I'm going to get that string name, like name equal to scan. We have to use the object to access all the method which is stored in the scanner class, right? This is the object for the scanner class. Using this scan object, I'm going to access whatever the method which is stored in the scanner class according to our use. So here it is string, right? So for accessing string, we have to use the method called next. So if you have a sentence to input means you have to give the method. The method name is actually next line. These are predefined methods. Like I will give, this is next for taking only what one name. This is the one. And for taking a whole sentence, you have to give like next line. Okay, for taking integer variables, you can give like next int. Like that, we can give for next float also. Then next double. So these are the predefined methods which is used for accessing input values. So here it is. We have string name. For accessing string name, it's only one word. So I'm giving like scan dot next. This is enough. Okay, now we get that value, right? Now we get that value. So I am going to show you how it works, that constructor. So this is the constructor show. So in this show, I'm passing this name. I'm passing this name, and here I'm going to create that constructor, that parameterized constructor I'm going to create here. So here I want, what I have to do means I have to declare that string value also, string name I'm declaring here. Then I'm creating that. So that constructor is the constructor have the name which is same as its class name. So here I'm creating that constructor. That is class name is what, which is show. So show, it doesn't have any return type like methods. So this print method is happening. Please, you can mute your mics. It's getting some noises. Okay, so constructor doesn't have any return type, so you don't have to write that. So here itself, I have to give that argument, that is string name, and I'm writing the definition for the show constructor. So it is like this dot name equal to that name we are passed. So this is the sentence, right? So this uh, this is actually referencing the current name, the current variable which is in the current class. So the current class is what, which is show. This dot name is actually referencing that this name actually. So it's confusing, so I'm giving n number. So okay, so this num is actually in this current class that show. So whatever the value that we are passing here, so here I'm passing one name that we are get, right. So that name will be assigned to this num in this class. That is actually what it's written here. That is this dot num is equal to name. So this is what, it's a parameterized constructor. Okay, the constructor is having the same name as the class name, and it's taking one argument, that is name. So the num variable, the string num variable in the show class is allocated or assigned as the value that we passed through the constructor, which is name, right? Okay, so here what we are going to do means, hi, I'm just giving that name. Okay, so I'm just running it. Okay, just wait. What happened here? Okay, I changed that name already, so that's why there. Okay, so this is how we are passing parameters through constructors. Okay, so in the main class, what I done, I'm just declared a string name, then I get the value here in the main class itself through a constructor. I just passed that value to the class show, right? So now our value is comes in this show constructor, and what it's done here, that value that we have passed, which is assigned to the enum string in our show class, right? And in the main class, we are through this object of this show class, we are just called the print method. So in the print method, it is printing hi, whatever the name it is printing. Is it clear, guys? This is what a parameterized constructor. It is used to passing parameters between classes and also for instantiating an object. Is it clear? Any doubt means
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can. Okay, fine. You can post in the chat box. Otherwise, you can tell. So the next concept is what? That is abstraction, right? So that is abstraction. So abstraction is actually used for security and also for standardizing. So let's see how that an abstraction is implemented in program. So just we can create one another package. I mean, giving the package name as abstraction. Okay, let's close this. So this abstract class, I'm just creating a class that is our main class. I'm creating our main class which is containing our main method. Okay, so the main method, and after that I'm creating one abstract class. So abstract class we can create class, and here it is that modifiers is given. So in the main class I am created as public. You can just click on this. So it is abstract class. So no need of clicking here. That is actually this is for main class. So no need of that. And I'm giving the name as worker. Okay, I'm giving the name as vehicle. That is our class name, abstract class name, which is worker, and it is abstract, and I'm just finishing. So here it is mentioned, right? You can see here that is something A is mentioned there. That means that is an abstract class. So here also it is mentioned some meaning. A is there. So this is our abstract class. So in the abstract class, I'm going to create an abstract method. So public abstract void show. So this is enough. this is actually what we want. Okay, so after that I'm creating one another two classes. So here it is, vehicle class is our abstract class. It is only containing one declaration of a certain method, only the declaration part. This is actually abstraction. I'm not yet written any definition for this. This is an abstract and only the declaration part. So now I'm going to create one two different classes. One is one public classes. Actually I'm creating one class as car. So this is our car class. I'm giving it as public. So one car class is created, and another one I'm also creating bike. That is also public. So our main class, which is containing the main method, and one vehicle class, that is an abstract class. It is containing an abstract method, which is show, and two different classes, which is car and bike. So car and bike, what it's going to do means these two classes are going to extend this vehicle class. So here I can give that extend keyword. That extend keyword actually used to inheritance, right? To inherit the property. So here I'm giving extends vehicle class. Vehicle, right? So what it is in a red mark is actually we have to implement that unimplemented methods which is stored in the vehicle class, right? That's why it's showing an error here. Here we are declared the void show method. We have to implement that here. That's why it's showing an error. So here I'm just going to implement that void show method. Our method name is what? Abstract method name is show, right? So I can give here public void show. In that, so here is the implementation part. System dot out dot println. Inside that I'm just giving, this is car. I'm just printing car, right? So this is enough. And in the bike car, it's also going to extend the worker class. Extends bike. Sorry. Bike. And the same thing, we have to implement that abstract method here, that is public void show. Right? So we extend that vehicle class and we are implemented that abstract method which is shown in our two subclasses car and Java. So we are just implemented that. This is what abstraction. So in the main class we are going to call this methods. So in the main class what we have to do means here first I'm going to create the object of the car, that is CR. Here equal to new CR. Okay, through that object I'm accessing that show method. Like that for bike also I'm creating the object new bike pk dot show. It's finished and we can run this. So whatever inside this show method it's going to print. So let's come to our main function and let's run this. I'm car and I'm bike, right? So this vehicle is our abstract class which is only containing abstract method. That means only the declaration part, right? And these two different classes, class and bike, it's going to extend our vehicle class using the keyword extend. This is actually inheriting. This car and bike are inheriting the property. That which property? That method, which is shop, right? So here now there is an standardization, right? Two different classes is having same method, and same method it's going to print different thing. Whatever it is we are giving, it's going to print. Like bike class is printing, I am bike. Car class is printing, I am car. This is what abstraction. Okay, and also this abstract class is also containing concrete classes. That means our normal method. So I'm going to create a normal method here. Public void print. Print is our method, and I'm going to just print okay. So that abstract class should contain abstract classes and also instant classes or normal classes. So this is a normal classes. The definition part is here. So we can call this method also print. This is from the vehicle class, right? So we can write this also. So this is what abstraction. If it is not allowed in an abstract class, means when we are writing this, that compiler will produce an error here. Okay, so this is fine. And our next topic is encapsulation. So encapsulation is nothing but it's actually providing a security for our variables, right? So in Java, we have different modifiers, public, private, protected, that we can give to our methods, class, variables also. So here in this, actually we are given public, right? And in one example, we give that string name. These are by default, it is public. So we can give it as private, and it won't be accessible by any classes outside from the main class. That's a benefit of this private keyword. And this encapsulation is done with the help of this private keyword and also some getter and setter methods. So I will show you how it is implemented. Okay, so I'm creating one another package. For all the things, I'm just maintaining some different package. So I'm giving encapsulation. The package name as encapsulation.
Ma'am, can you increase the font size?
Okay. So I don't know actually. Oh, okay, fine. I will show you.
TTR plus.
Yes, I know. I know. Just forget that actually. So I'm just creating the main. So the main function I'm using the main. Okay, is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in the main class, so what I am going to do is actually I'm creating one another class that is for storing private variables. I'm creating one another class. So I'm giving the name as encap. So we don't have to tick this because only one main function. So in this encap class, I'm going to create some private variables. So I'm giving private string name. So one variable, then private private int age and private int number. So these are the variables. So this variable is only accessible, or its scope is only in between this class called encap. It won't be accessible from any other class, and also it is not accessible from this main class. And how we are going to access these private variables means using getters and setters. That is nothing but set methods, setting name and getting the name, or getting the age or setting the age, like that. So by default, the future of Java we can, not the future of Java, not the Eclipse future. So just right click here. Here it is something like source, and in that source you can generate getters and setters. You can just click on that. So here it will sum. You can tick all those things, whatever the things you have for whichever the variables that you want to create the getters and setters. You can just click here and provide it as public. Then only it will accessible from other classes. So give it as public and click generate. So the getters and setters are created here. So this method, these are just methods, that is public string get name. So this get name is used to get the name, right? And this set name is actually like the what? That constructor. It is assigning this dot name equal to name. Like that for get, return age, set age. For all the private variables, it is here. All the getters and setters are here. Okay, so this is enough. So here in the main class, okay, so in this class we have to create that object of that class. A class is what? Encap, right? Encap equal to the object name en, which is equal to new encap. Okay, and en dot, I'm setting the name. So here it is going to get the value to our encapsulation, sorry, the encap class. So we are calling this setting function for setting the name. For setting age also we have to call like that. So en dot set name. Inside that we can pass our value. So the name is I'm giving like ABC, and en dot set age. The age I'm giving as 25. Then en dot the last one, set a number. And the number I'm giving like this, whatever it is. So what we are done is actually we just pass these things, right? The name, age, all those things to our class called encaps, right? Encaps. To this class we are passed these things. Now we are going to print these things. So just I'm giving our statement, that is system.out.println. So inside that I'm calling that method to return that value en dot get name. So here itself it is ready. So I'm just giving enter. So the same step we can give here. Age number. Okay, so this is done actually. So what the actual purpose of that? So if another person is looking on your code, he doesn't know where you are actually set that values, our variables. That is where in the encapsulation, the encap class, and which is given as private, so it is not accessible by any others. Only the user, only the programmer know where it is actually. We are just accessing these values using the getters and setters, right? So this we can run this. Okay, so this is done. This is actually what encapsulation, wrapping the data. Is it clear, guys? Any doubt means you can mention the chat box. Just go through the code. What I have done is I just created another class, and what are our variables means I'm just mentioning it as private, and I'm used some getters for getting those name, for setting those name, getting age, and all the things. Just after declaring all the thing as private, just right click on the window. Here it is source, and here it is getters and setters. Just click on that and it will come automatically. Otherwise, you can just type it directly, doesn't matter. And in the main function, we are called that set name, set age function to set those values, and the get name function for printing those values. Is it clear? Instead of these passing parameters, we can import our scanner class. We can create the object for the scanner class here, and using that object, instead of giving like this, you can take that values into a variable and you can pass the variables here also. That's also fine. So is it clear, guys? Encapsulation. This is what encapsulation, wrapping the data. It's a mechanism of wrapping the data, variables and code acting on the data methods together as a single unit. Nobody is responding. Is it fine or not?
It's fine, ma'am. It's fine.
Okay. And let's move on to the next topic, that is polymorphism. Polymorphism means in many forms, right? That is actually polymorphism. That means this polymorphism allows in one class can contain the methods which with the same names, and also in different classes can also contain same methods. That's actually what I'm talking about, the classes that we created in same package. So this polymorphism is of two types, compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. And that is actually function overloading and function overriding. Function overloading means in classes there will be two methods which is having same names, same name, but it's having some arguments, right? Arguments or parameters. So in that number of arguments different, or the return type that we are giving will be different. That is actually function overloading. The same class may contain same methods with the different number of arguments or type of arguments. And function overriding is actually in two different classes will contain. That means inheritance. There will be an inheritance property will be there when there is a super class and there is a child class. If there is a super class and child class, the super class and child class is containing same name method. There will be, and function overriding will happen. So I will show you how it is happening. So this we can create. So before I already created here, so I will show the example, otherwise it will get more time. So this is one example of overriding. So in this package called polymorphism, I am having two different classes, main and circle, right? So in this main class, I am having our main method, void, public static void method, and also another method called show method. Okay, and in the circle class, it is another class. It is also containing a show method. And this main class is actually extending the circle class. That means the main class is the child class and circle class is the super class, right? So here in this voice, that method show method in the main class, it is going to print an I am a rectangle. And the circle class is also containing a show method. It's going to print I am circle. Okay, so here in this main method, we are created the object for the circle class and we are called one show method, right? One show method. We are having one show method in our main class and also one show method in the circle class. And here we are created the object for the circle class and we are called the show method. So which show method will run? There are two different show methods. One is in main class and another one in the circle class. So I'm created circle class object here and I called show method. So which one will run? That show method in the main class will run because I'm given the constructor as main, right? The constructor as main. So this is actually method overriding two different classes. So if I am mentioning like here it's circle, I'm calling the constructor of the circle class means it will show the show method in the circle class. So in the circle class, it is going to print arm circle, right? So let's see what it's printing. Arm circle is printed, right? So for method overriding, you can just give like the constructor of the main class and just run this. You can see like arm rectangle. The method which is in the main class is run. This is actually runtime polymorphism or method override. This will check at the runtime only because the constructor, right? The constructor, according to the constructor, it is running. So this is runtime polymorphism. And another one is compile time polymorphism, that is method overloading. In the return type or the number of arguments, we can give us in different, the method name will be same. So I will show the example of that also. So in a separate package, I already created that. So one main class and another one is a shape class. So in the main class, what I had done is in the main method, I created the object for that shape class and I called two different, the same methods add, but I passed three, the number of arguments are different, right? This is actually method overloading. In the shape class, I implemented two classes which is having same name, that is add, and it is having the number of arguments are different. The first add is containing two arguments, the second add is containing three arguments, right? Otherwise we can give like we can change this return type also. That's also fine. If the arguments, the number of arguments are same, means you can change this return type also. That's also fine. So this is how method overloading. The same class, it's containing same name method, but the number of arguments or the type of arguments or the return type of the methods, we can keep it as different. So when we run this, the first one, the first method is called That is add, it's taking 2 arguments, so 4 plus 5, 9 is printed. And the second one, add, it's having 3 arguments, so 4 plus 5 plus 6, it is 15 is printed, right? According to the number of parameters that methods are worked. This is what method overloading. In the same class, it is containing methods which is having same name, method overloading, and method overriding is actually in 2 different classes. That classes are in it's actually following, it's actually have the property of inheritance. That means there will be a superclass and a child class. If superclass and child class is containing same methods with the same name, means that is function overriding. Okay, and the last one is actually inheritance, I think. Let me show you. So this is inheritance. Inheritance means it is just inheriting the properties. The properties are nothing but variables, methods, and constructors, all those things. So this is just done with the help of that extends keyword that already we done here. So here also it is done, that is the extends, right? So in this extends, it will contain all the properties. So here whatever the things that we are declared or we are returned, we can access in our main function. That is actually inheritance. So these are the OOPS concept. If there is any doubt, please. Please, are you there? Nobody is responding. What happened?
No doubts, ma'am.
No doubts, ma'am.
Ma'am, no doubt.
Okay, fine. So just wait. I will share the form link.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So guys, the link is on the chat box. You guys can fill that, and let's see in the next session. Thank you for